Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and you're probably wondering why I'm not going live today. And that's because I am at backstage in Las Vegas. Stampin' Up! Has a leadership event once a year, and this year it is in Vegas. And I am there right now if my plane arrived and everything. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm there at the conference right now. So I thought I would record my Casing Tuesday video for you so you would have something to watch while I'm gone. I hope to be able to tell you all about it when I get back. It's always great to gather with other Stampin' Up! Leaders because we really get enriched by other things that people are doing, different ways of doing things. It's just good to be with leaders, and I hope that it will make what I do even better. So I will be back on Friday. I get back Thursday night, and I will be trying to bring you my Friday video. Although because of when I get back on Thursday, I might be pushing the time back a little bit. I might be going live Friday afternoon. So watch for an email from me to know the exact time I'll be going live on Friday. But for today, you have me as a pre-recorded video. And today is Casing Tuesday. And that's the day when we take a card out of the catalog and we give it a makeover. So this is a thing that you can play along with too. And we have a Facebook group where you can post a photo of your card if you wish. And if you just want to play along without posting, that's absolutely fine. This is such a great exercise for beginners who need to have a starting point, and for people like me who have stamped for a while and need to get out of our comfort zones. So join me doing this card today. I have simplified mine a little bit. So let's take a look at what today's card is. Here it is, right here. And I love this card. It's got lots of fun layers, but I found like it had almost too many layers for me. So, and I love this card. I love it, but for me, I just made a few less layers, but I kind of kept the spirit of the card. And I also loved that this card had the squirrel on it. And normally I try and use a different stamp set just to mix it up a bit. But as soon as I saw the squirrel on there, I'm like, I have not used the squirrel enough. So we're going to be using the squirrel today. And I hope you love this card because I really love today's card. And here is a sketch. So if you want to know the measurements of the original card, here's the sketch with the measurements, and you are welcome. Like with my card, I made some changes because I needed a bigger area for my squirrel. I needed a little bit more balance with the layers. So I changed the layers a little bit. And you can absolutely do that. But here are some starting measurements for you to work off of, especially if you're not familiar with the scale of our regular cards. So those are the cards, and here is my card for today. And I have to show you this. Look at this. It's got a wobble on it. Look at it wobbles. So when you take it out of the card, it will probably wobble, but you can just flick it, and it's on a little kind of spring mechanism called a wobble. And I will link down to wobbles in my supply list in the video. So in case you don't know what they are, and if you want to get some to put on your card, this is a mini wobble. And mini wobbles, I think, are the best size for our card bases. I think that you will get the most mileage out of a mini wobble. And look how fun this is. It is just so cute. And I have to give a shout out to a demonstrator. Her name is Sherry Irving. I believe she's a Canadian demonstrator. I reached out to her on Facebook. I saw her post on the Demonstrator Planning Place, which is our demonstrator only Facebook group. And she posted a really cute card. Now, it was not the same as this card, but she did a greeting with Go Nuts, and with she said Go Nuts and it's Christmas. And that got me thinking her card was really cute, different from mine, But her card really inspired what I did with this card, and I turned it into a cute little squirrel Christmas, and I just love the way this turned out. And this card is not too hard to make, so I'm going to show you how to make it from start to finish. So shout out to Sherry Irving. I reached out to her to see if she had a blog because I couldn't find it, and if she does have a blog, I will link to it in my blog post. But as of yet, I have not found where she has posted it elsewhere on social media. But if she does, I will post to her card too, because I want to give her credit for inspiring my card design. All right, we are going to make this card from start to finish. So let's get started with that. And I'm going to just pop over to my work surface. So I went very traditional with the card colors, but I so like the way this turned out. So we're gonna start off with a garden green card base. So I cut a sheet of cardstock in half. So this measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it in half at the 4.25 inch mark. And then I'm just gonna fold it down like this. Look at this, look, he's like moving. He's so cute. Okay, then I'm going to take some paper, and this paper is called, let me grab it for you. I'm going to try and do the supplies today as I go on. This paper is called Christmas Tags and More, and just a little caveat, this paper right now is out of stock, but it's coming back on November 17th. But you're welcome to substitute with another Christmassy type paper. I like this because it's neutral, it's not too busy, and it just kind of works really well. And this piece here is 5.5 by 2 inches, and we're just going to glue it down. Isn't this pretty on the back side? I love pretty patterns. I just have to show you. This paper has some like interesting things. It has these little panels that you can use on a card, and then the back side is green and white gingham. It's a very cool paper set, and it does have some die cuts too, and it has like these ornaments, and then it has kind of you'll see, if you want, you can go on to the Stampin' Up website. It's called Christmas Tags and More 6x6, and you can see all the patterns on there. Okay, I have now lost my panel. Where did it go? That is just wonderful. Did it fly off my desk? Oh no. Okay, did I stick it in here? I stuck it in here. That's what I did. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna take this to 5.5 by 2 inch piece, and we're gonna cover up the beautiful side of this paper. But what I really want is that ginghamy side. I'm going to glue this. This is about, I would say, about 3/4 inch. Let's measure it to be exact. Yeah, it's about 3/4 inch from the bottom of the card. And just glue it like that so it is stuck into place. So next, we do need to do a little bit of die cutting. I wanted to stay true to the original of the card, and so I'm going to do a couple of banners here. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do those. We're going to bring out our little mini machine, our little cute little mini machine, and we'll need our cutting plates for a second, and we are going to use excuse me, we are going to use these dies right here. These are called the party banner dies. Party banner dies. There are 20 of them in total. And we're going to use 2 of these to cut things for our card. Let me measure the ones that you need to know about. So this big layer right here, the big layer, this is basic beige, and I'm going to measure across the top here. So this one, when you measure the die itself, it's 3 3/8 inch, 3 inches and 3/8 across. And then you're also going to grab this other banner, and this one's 2 3/8 inches across. Okay, so you'll need those two, and we're going to set up our little cutting area. So I always say this every time I use my mini machine. The number one base platform is what you should use, but if your machine is tight like mine, switch to the light gray number 3 plate and you'll be much happier. And then put a clear plate on the bottom, and then reserve a clear plate for the top. Then you're going to take your die. Now this guy just barely fits through there. Let's see. So I've cut this to, I think it's 3 3/8, and it just fits across here. So this is the width of my basic beige is 3 3/8. So let's just go ahead and cut a banner. I'm cranking it through. That's a big loud crank because it's a big straight edge there at the end. Whenever it hits like a straight big piece on the roller, it has to crank a little harder. Okay, so we've got our first banner cut out of basic beige, and then we're going to do a little trick thing. So this little banner right here, I'm cutting it out of Poppy Parade, but there is not a banner that is skinny like that on your set. So I'm going to show you how to make a skinnier little banner. So we're going to take a piece of Poppy Parade, and I have pre-cut this piece to 3 inches by 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to take this other die, and remember I said it was about 2 3/8 inches across. So we're going to take this die and we're going to center it right, and we're going to kind of take a look. I'm going to stand up so I can make sure that I've got this centered, and it's going to have like the little V cut here in the center, and it's going to take off just a little bit on the end. The reason I cut it to 3 inches is because this whole die is going to anchor this piece in place. I might have to cut this a little bit shorter afterwards. I'm going to have to double check to see if I need to, but if you have a little bit of cardstock sticking out on this side, it helps anchor the piece in place when you die cut it through so it does not shift. So just make sure it's where you want it, and then we're going to cut it through just like that. Okay. All right. So we've got that die cut. There is one other thing you will need to die cut on this card, and that is a Christmas tree. Now, I'm going to cheat today. Normally, I would totally stamp this tree and die cut it for you, but I had a bunch of these trees left over from another project, and they were just in the exact right colors. So I was like, I know you guys will understand that I didn't want to waste paper and stamp it on camera. We'll be doing some other stamping, so you'll be able to see stamping. But this is the stamps that I use. It's called Pine Tree Trimmings. I'm just going to open this up here, and I use this stamp right here in garden green ink, and I stamped it on garden green cardstock, and then I used the matching die to cut it out. Okay, so you'll need one Christmas tree for your squirrel to decorate. So that needs to be die cut as well. So I'm going to set that aside. And I think then we're good for die cutting because the rest of everything is going to be punched. So let's set this aside. All right, so here's our tree's going to go right there. And let's deal with this banner while we have it out. I'm going to take my Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and I'm going to use 2 stamps. So I'm going to tell you how I created this. And let me grab my Fluffy Squirrel. So Fluffy Squirrel is a bundle. And let me just put these two together. The Fluffy Squirrel bundle is so cute. I have used it for birthday cards. But the one thing, and I made a cute little tea light holder with it, but the one thing that I have not done with it is I did not make a Christmas card, and it makes such cute Christmas cards. There are no Christmas greetings in this bundle, so we are going to make a Christmas greeting using part of a greeting here to make one, but you will need this to make this cute little Christmas card. This is like a definite must-have for this card. So I'm going to set this aside for a second. So what I did was I took this greeting. It's actually on one block, on one stamp. It's Go Nuts, It's Your Birthday. And guess what? I cut it apart with my scissors. I was very careful. I kind of bent it back a little bit so I could cut right through. Now I have two separate greetings I can use. It's Your Birthday and Go Nuts. But now I can use Go Nuts with other things. So then I looked to see what I had going on with my other stamp sets. And I found, where are you? I have this little bundle this year. It's called A Little Cheer. And the stamp set you can purchase separately, or you can purchase it as part of a bundle. The bundle has punches that match the stocking, the star, and the little tree. And I made a cute little tea light holder with this particular bundle. But look at Christmas time is here. So I thought that would be the perfect greeting to go underneath my Go Nuts. And when Sherry did her card, I don't know where she got her greeting from, but the Go Nuts, she may have printed it off from somewhere, or she may have had a different greeting. I don't know where she got it from because it was not this particular greeting, but I wanted to show you how to do it with Stampin' Up! Products. So she didn't say where she got everything. So Christmas time is here, and I'm going to stamp that kind of centered right along the bottom. I'm doing this greeting first. For some reason, it was easier for me to stamp the smaller greeting at the bottom. And then I'm going to grab Go Nuts. Always love doing stamping surgery because it allows me to make more greetings. Look at that. Go Nuts. Christmas time is here. It's like so fun. So fun. All right. Okay, so we're gradually building what we need to do. Actually, I'm going to put this right on here. Just kind of start building up our card. Now we need a squirrel. So let me grab, I've actually already pre-stamped one, but we're going to stamp another one so I can show you how to do it. We're going to start off with pecan pie. I've debated whether doing the filler first is better or the outline. And right now I'm leaning towards doing the filler part first, the bold part. So we're going to take pecan pie, ink up the stamp, the bold stamp, and kind of stamp it close to a corner at the bottom. I am stamping on basic beige here, just to change things up. I usually do basic white, but this time I am doing something different. I am using beige. Okay, then we're going to do the outline in tuxedo black. You can also do this, it looks also really nice with early espresso as the outline. So if you don't want to do basic black, you could do early espresso. And then I need to hover this. You kind of need to go above here. I'm going to stand up. Kind of need to hover, and you kind of need to like shift around until it looks good. And then you're going to stamp down. And that was pretty good. I'm pretty proud of myself. So even if you're a little bit off, the squirrel still looks pretty good. So then you're going to take your punch and you're going to punch out your squirrel. I love that this is a two-step squirrel because that makes it really easy to have both the highlights and the outline all at once. You don't need to do any coloring. Okay, next off, we want to do some acorns. The easiest way to do acorns, now this one just came out of the machine out of the punch. So you can try, we're going to use Memento again. You can try and just center this on here and eyeball it. And you can most of the time get a pretty centered acorn if you have any left over. But if you need to make a bunch, and we need 5 for this card. So what I like to do, grab your acorn. This strip is about 3/4 of an inch wide. I think you could also get away with about 5/8 of an inch wide. And you're just gonna stamp yourself a bunch of acorns in a row on this strip. And then it's very easy to just stick this in here on the side, line it up, and punch. And then you can do these fairly quickly, and you will get quicker at it as time goes on. But it's just very easy to get a whole bunch of these just punched out very quickly. So once you have those punched out, we don't have a stamp that fills in the top, but it's pretty easy to take Stampin' Blends. And I recommend taking a dark red. This one I'm using is Poppy Parade, and I'm also using the dark Pecan Pie. And just take your bullet tip and color in the top of your acorn. And I really like to do some in red because it makes it more Christmassy and it kind of makes it fun. Then if you want to do this, I did this on my acorns. It barely shows, but if you want to do a little shading, I just went down one side of my acorn, just like that. And it does kind of fade over time, but you can kind of see I just shaded it coming down just a little bit on the side there. You don't have to do that. When I did that, I used Crumb Cake Light Stampin' Blends right there. Come here, focus. There we go. So that's the light Crumb Cake Stampin' Blends. If you are looking for my Stampin' Blends labels, I print them off. I have a sheet that you can print off and then use a 3/8 inch circle punch to punch these out. If you're looking for a 3/8 inch circle punch, look down below in the description of my video. Go to my Amazon favorites, and there is a 3/8 inch circle punch that you can, I've linked to in that store under punches if you're looking for one. Then you just punch these out and attach them to the end of your blends with a mini glue dot. With these little guys, they're just little, I don't know if you can see one. Here we go. Here, you can see it's just a little tiny mini glue dot, and that will stick onto your ad. And then you can also create yourself a color chart. I also have this on my blog. You can find it in the resources menu. So if you go to cubiesquest.com, click resources, and then you can create yourself a color blends chart, or you can put labels on to your Stampin' Blends. Okay, I have pre-cut a bunch of acorns and colored them so that they are ready for use. So I think we're ready to start gluing things together. So first off, let's get the tree glued on here, because the tree needs to be on. We're going to do the squirrel last. So the tree is maybe not quite 1/4 of an inch, just a little bit, maybe more than 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. Like that, and just stick that down. And then you're going to take some of these colored acorns, and hey, if you want to, you could do each acorn could have a different color. I just kind of went with some neutral acorns, like the traditional color, and then some red ones just to add like a little bit of fun to this project. Just to, I think it just, I don't know, it just makes me really happy to see the little acorns in red. It's so cute. Okay, so we've glued on our tree and the acorns. Next, let's glue on our greeting, because that one also, I'm just going to put it on close to the banner, and I don't want to glue over here because I'm not on my card yet. So I'm going to glue this also, probably it's about 1/8 of an inch from the top, and we can just kind of space it out just a little bit. All right, we're not going to glue down our squirrel. We're going to do that when everything's on the card. But what we can do is we can give the squirrel a red acorn and just get the squirrel ready. Okay, and then we're going to glue this to the card front. That. This is one of the most fun Christmas cards that I have done this season. I'm just so glad that Sherry posted her card, because I could have thought this out, but I just love how she took the Go Nuts and combined it with a Christmas greeting, and I think that is just so much fun. Okay, so now we need to glue this little guy on here. So these are mini wobbles right here. So you're going to take one of these, and you can see they move. So I'm going to take off, and I don't know what is the right way, but the side that is open, like that is circular, that's what I glue that to the image. And then this flat back side, I glue that to the card. I don't know if that's the right way or not. I don't know if there's a wrong way or a right way. And I'm just going to put that right in the center of the squirrel, so it kind of supports kind of the biggest part of the squirrel. And then you're going to remove the backing off of here. I like that they already have adhesive on them, so you don't have to try and figure that out. They're very sticky. And so then you're just going to hover your squirrel where you want it. And I'm going to have the tail sticking off a little bit and just kind of push him down onto there. See how fun that is? It is so cute. I love it. Okay, so now for the inside, I am just going to take a piece. This is 5 inches by 3 3/4. And we'll just go back and do a very simple squirrel design. I'm going to take pecan pie ink and my bold part of my squirrel. You know what? I think there's something on my stamp. After having looked, there is a spot on my stamp. I think it's right there. Okay, I think I got it. You know, sometimes when you leave stamps sitting out for a while, they catch something. Okay, so we're going to stamp this down at the bottom corner and lift. And then we're going to come in with our outline again. And this is Tuxedo Black. And remember I said you could also use Early Espresso, which also looks kind of nice. And then you need to be directly above your squirrel in order to get this aligned, and you just kind of twist it until you can see everything is kind of in alignment. If you don't like to stamp it in this order, you can always do the outline and then the filler, but I think I've had a little bit more success doing it the opposite. I don't know which is best. Practice and see which one you like better. Then I wanted to add Merry Christmas to the inside, and thankfully I've already pulled a little cheer for the Christmas time is here greeting. And this one has Happy, Merry, and Christmas. Great little set. So I'm going to do Merry Christmas down here. Oh, and we do need an extra acorn too. So let me do that first. Let me grab, I guess I need to color an acorn. And I'm going to do another red one. I'm just going to do, this is so quick with the Stampin' Blends, Poppy Parade Dark, and then we'll just grab the crumb cake, and we're just going to shade down one side. And then we'll put a little glue center. I love the glue because that little acorn's not going anywhere. And then we're going to use Poppy Parade because that's the bright red that we're using for everything. It really makes everything pop. Very traditional Christmas colors. And I'm going to stamp my Christmas first. And I'm just going to kind of stamp it close to the bottom, close to the squirrel. We're trying to create a little scene with our Merry Christmas. And then I'm going to put my Merry right there, right beside it. And then we're going to open up this card, and we'll just pop this in. I always like to do an inside now so that they are ready to go when I need a card, when I need a Christmas card. These are all ready to go. I don't have to pull out my stamp set again, and I have a place for me to put my message and sign my name, and it's just ready to go, and it makes the inside of the card special, right? So there we go. There is our card, and look at this, is just so much fun. It's so cute, and I love it. Looks like this squirrel is putting an acorn on the tree. Go nuts, Christmas time is here. I think it's adorable. I hope you do too. And if you already have the squirrel bundle, then you'll be pretty much ready to go to make this. And I did do a tree project. Just want to show you. Here is the cute little Christmas tree. So if you were, maybe you're gonna make this as like a little gift. You could make these little Christmas tree boxes. You could put acorns on this, and then you could make this like a little ornament / card gift. Wouldn't that be so cute? This is something, it can stand alone on someone's nightstand, or in someone's apartment, or just hanging it on the tree, and you could have fun with that. You can just make it a regular look. It looks cute just like that, right? But if you wanted to go take the theme further, just take little acorns. They were very quick to punch out, and then you can just create a cute little gift. So I hope you like that. I hope that is lots of fun for you. I love cute critters. I love it when we can do like some punny little things. It just makes me so very happy. So if you've made it this far, if you love what I did today and you're not already a YouTube subscriber, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, interact with my video, and that helps me get seen by other people, and I appreciate that so much. because this is what I do. This is my job. And not that many people in the world get to do these wonderfully creative things. And I am just so thankful that I can do this and share it with you. And I hope this is some great inspiration for you, so that you can create your own fun cards. So this video is done, and if you are looking for supplies, just remember I put a lot of things into the description of the video, a supply list, a link back to my blog. I have a link to how to contact me. So there's a lot of information. You just need to open up the description of the video. And then over on my blog, I probably have even more information for you. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me. And I will be back with a regularly scheduled live on Friday. Might be a little bit late this week, but I hope I'm going to be doing some sort of 3D thing. We'll have to look and see what's available supply-wise. I don't like to have too many things that are out of stock. Paper's a little different because a lot of us have a paper hoarding problem, and we have a lot of paper in stock. So there's always a substitute paper that you could perhaps use, especially for today's Squirrely card. So thank you all for being here and watching this video. Have a great week, and I hope to see some of you at my live on Friday. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.